can see, it's large enough in there that we can build sets that look like they are outside, inside of the building. You can also see what it looks like when it doesn't have a set inside of it. A giant warehouse-like space where we can control lighting, weather, special effects, sound, and build anything you can imagine. And some of the sound stages here on the left have the doors open, so you can see they all look like this. Giant buildings with padded walls. That first one, 11, is used for the TV show Hacks. They're working on season 4 right now. Sound stages 9 and 10 have the doors open. 9 has a pretty cool set in it that you can see through the doors. 9 and 10 are used for Ted, season 2. That show is produced by Seth MacFarlane, who also voices Ted the Teddy Bear, along with Universal Content Productions. Next door, sound stages 7, 8, and then 14 will be around the corner. Those 3 are used for Bel Air. Bel Air is also working on season 4. So we got Hacks working on season 4. That show stars Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder. Jean Smart just received another Emmy for her role as Deborah Vance in that show. It airs on Max. Then Ted airs on Peacock, and Bel Air airs on Peacock as well. To tell us more about this area, I'm going to leave you with the stars of Bel Air, Jabari Banks, and Ollie Sholatin.
We're leaving the theme park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment for screen movies.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel Air.
When we film Bel Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who
or what
you'll see in the studio tour.
On the right-hand side, we're going to drive by sound stages 16 and 17. Those 2 are used for season 2 of the TV show based on a true story, starring Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. That's another one of our Peacock original shows. And then we have sound stages 18 and 19. Those 2 are currently used for a highly confidential production I can't tell you anything about without getting in big trouble. But right before that new production, these were used for a brand new Netflix show called A Man on the Inside, starring Ted Danson and Stephanie Beatriz, that premieres this month on Netflix, based on the Academy Award nominated documentary Mole Agent, and produced by Mike Schur. Soundstage 19, the last one here, was also used as the Oval Office in the movie Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan, our latest Academy Award-winning picture for Best Picture. Now, coming up on the left, you're going to see Ted the Teddy Bear from the movies Ted, Ted 2, and the TV show Ted. All the buildings behind him used to be permanent dressing rooms to the stars back in the golden era of film. Stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, and Lucille Ball all had dressing rooms right here. But today, we use trailers like all these parked on the right-hand side by Soundstage 19 as dressing rooms. And these are a lot more convenient because we can drive them around and place them closer to where we're filming. So all of these were turned into production offices for our top producers, directors, writers, casting agents, etc. For example, this is where we house Illumination Entertainment, Working Title Films, the De La Rentas Company, and Mark Platt Productions. Mark Platt Productions has been really busy with the production of the movie musical Wicked, which will star Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. Part 1 comes out November 22nd, and it's directed by John Shu.
Hey, Studio Tour. You're seeing a lot of behind-the-scenes movie-making magic today, showing you up close how filmmakers, like me, bring our dreams to the big screen. After your tour, the magic of Wicked continues at Universal Studios Hollywood, where you can experience photo ops, props, and costumes from the film, and fun bites and drinks from Shiz and Emerald City. But first, here's a look at Wicked.
Come with me to meet the wizard. Why couldn't tell me this is your moment? I'm coming.
If you think that's something to see, let's see this. You're good.
Very good.
Wicked, rated PG.
In theaters ever, November 22nd, including our local movie theater, the Universal Cinema. Oh. We're clear. Soundstage 25 is home to Lopez vs. Lopez. They're filming season 3 of that show, starring George Lopez and his daughter Maya Lopez. It's already airing on NBC, but they're still filming it. And then Soundstage 26 is used for a brand new sitcom called St. Dennis Medical, starring David Allen Greer and Wendy McClendon-Covey, already premiered on NBC as well. Now, we are going to go into the backlot, but before, we're going to take a small detour to Skull Island from Universal and Peter Jackson's 2005 version of the movie King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that was remade. I saw that movie when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
We are now approaching Skull Island. As we make our way in, I'd like to remind you to please remain seated at all times. If you are planning on taking any pictures or video in here, I highly recommend you turn off the flash on your cameras. We do not want to scare any of the potentially dangerous creatures that live here. Now you can start getting your 3D glasses ready, and welcome to Skull Island. King Kong 360 3D is one of the world's largest 3D experiences, and it was designed by Peter Jackson and his production team at Weta FX. They just received their 7th Academy Award last year for their work creating the special effects of the movie Avatar: The Way of Water. They're known for the special effects from movies like King Kong, Avatar, Lord of the Rings trilogy, and many more. Now, we're going into the backlot now. This time I'm going to leave you with Jimmy Fallon.
We're about to cross the imaginary boundary onto the back lot, where we have exterior sets for many outdoor scenes. Over the last 60 years, studio tour guests have seen these locations turned into big cities, quiet suburbs, even that guy's hometown. Yeah, that guy. For countless movies and TV shows. This is Universal's Metro Sets.
Our Metro Sets, our first stop in the backlot, here in front of us on the left, are used to recreate large cities for film and TV. New York, Chicago, Boston, LA, even European cities like London and Paris can all be recreated in these sets that are next to us. Right now we have 2 productions working in here. Another one of those highly confidential productions I can tell you anything about without getting in trouble. The other one is Ted Season 2. For the TV show Ted, they turned this into downtown Boston and other parts of Boston. So I want to show you some scenes from Season 1 so you can see these sets in action on that show.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at my Peacock original event series, TED. It's a prequel series set in 1993. And that means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, TED is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch. Oh, come on!
Now, anytime they're outside in the TV show Ted, they're usually just here in these sets. And if you've seen the show, season 1 is already out, you probably noticed that where they go to school, John Hancock High School, that building is the same building that was the clock tower in Back to the Future. That's because these same sets have been used for incredible movies like Back to the Future, Bruce Almighty, Captain America, The First Avenger, The Amazing Spider-Man, Transformers, The Forever Purge, Home Alone 2, most of the Fast and the Furious movies, TV shows like Parenthood, How I Met Your Mother, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., American Ninja Warrior, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, The Mindy Project. The list goes on and on and on forever. On the left here, Soundstages 30 and 31, home to The Voice. They're working on season 27 of that show right now.
Hey, Studio Tour. It's your boy Snoop Dogg. Did you know that the Universal Backlot is home of The Voice? That's right. We tape right here on Stage 31. Don't miss our incredible new season every Monday and Tuesday on NBC.
Next door, Soundstages 32 and 33. Those were used for Academy Award winner Jordan Peele's latest films, the movie Us with Lupita Nyong'o and the movie No with Daniel Kaluuya and Kiki Palmer. Right now, 33, the last one there, is used for Reba McEntire's new sitcom Happy's Place, which already premiered on NBC as well. There's also a little body of water next to us here on the left, known officially as Park Lake. But it's had a few nicknames throughout its history, like the Hollywood Ocean, or my favorite, the Black Lagoon, because back in 1954, right there is where we filmed Creature from the Black Lagoon. While we're celebrating the 60th anniversary of the studio tour, Creature from the Black Lagoon has been celebrating its 70th anniversary, but we've been making monster movies for over 100 years now. Our first big monster movie was Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1923, and it filmed in the sets that are right in front of us at the end of this street here. Now, today, another confidential production is setting up in these sets. Sometimes we have quite a few of those, but the sets that are at the end of the street here are where most of our classic monster movies were made. Movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, The Phantom of the Opera, The Mummy, and countless others since the 1920s, all filmed right there. Again, today they are being used for a confidential production, but they were also the main sets to one of my favorite TV shows ever, the TV show The Good Place, also filmed in these sets. I want to show you what that show looked like.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Okay, well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
If you've seen The Good Place, while it mainly filmed in Little Europe, these sets here, it filmed all over our lot, and you probably recognize a few parts of the studio in the show. If you haven't seen The Good Place, I can't recommend it enough. As I said, it's one of my favorite TV shows ever. I do not get paid extra to say that. It actually is. And the entire series is on Netflix right now. The show was created by Mike Schur, who recently was in the studio working on his new show, A Man on the Inside, also starring Ted Danson. That's a show that premieres this month on Netflix. And he's known for writing, creating, and producing other great shows like The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Rutherford Falls, and many others, which also filmed here in our studio. Now, as I mentioned, our sets, our Little Europe sets, are being used today, but they're mainly known for our classic monster movies. So I want to show you a few of those so you can see what the sets looked like back then.
Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. Are you ready? Go! Your torches and go!
But aside from our classic monster movies and The Good Place, Little Europe was also used as the fictional country of Genovia in Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement with Julie Andrews, Anne Hathaway, and Chris Pine. These were also the storybook setting to the movie musical Cinderella with Brandy, Whitney Houston, and Whoopi Goldberg. They were used as assorted Caribbean islands throughout the Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean movie franchise. This is where Captain Jack Sparrow and Will Turner meet for the first time. They also had a big brawl in a tavern. I think it was in the second movie. That tavern wasn't a tavern at all. It was actually that courtyard that's behind car 1 on the left of car 2 where the truck is parked. They made it look like the inside of a bar for that show, even though it's an open air courtyard. Now, while at first glance a lot of our sets might look like regular buildings, the truth is most of them are something called facades or false fronts. That means out here we usually only build the front and the sides of the buildings, only what the camera requires to establish the exterior. The interiors are usually built and filmed inside of the sound stages where we have a lot more control. So as we drive through the back lot, if you try to look inside many of our sets, you'll see they don't really have a lot of space inside of them. But some of our sets, like that big gray house on the left of Cars 1 and 2, is something called a practical set. That means we can actually film both inside and outside of it. That house was built for the TV show Home and Family that ran on the Hallmark Channel for many years. It ended a few years ago. Since then, the house is now used for Bel Air. That's where the influencers live in Bel Air. It was briefly used on the Netflix show Never Have I Ever, mainly interior scenes. And we used it for a baking reality competition show called Baking It with Andy Samberg and Maya Rudolph. Now, today we've been led into one of our sound stages, and as we make our way in, I want to remind you to please remain seated and inside the tram at all times, especially in here. This is an active filming location, and they're mainly working on the left-hand side here. This is one of our semi-permanent sets. It always looks like a train station in here, but the productions that work here can change everything. The signage, the materials, the colors, the decorations to recreate different time stations at different time periods. Now it looks like they're setting up for a scene in the middle of the station here. They've started moving a little up. Alright, there seems to be a little tremor headed our way. Don't worry, these are coming to California. We'll get you out of here safely in a few minutes. We're okay. I've been a little stronger than anticipated. Please remain seated, remain calm, and listen up. The only way we're going to safely get out of here is if you keep the Let's get out of here before anything else happens to us. You just survived earthquake with this one. This attraction originally opened 35 years ago in 1989 and was just reopened this spring in time for our 60th anniversary with the Hollywood Pictures. Originally inspired by the classic disaster movie Earthquake, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary. That movie starred Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, and Richard Roundtree, and it filmed all over our studio lawn. We are now approximately halfway through the tour. Just want to remind everybody to please remain seated at all times, keeping heads, arms, and legs inside the vehicle for your safety. If you have any emergencies or require assistance, pull the red cord. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, on the left here, you'll see a sign welcoming us to Amity Island. And well, you probably heard about a great white shark that was terrorizing this town. But as you see on the right-hand side when we approach Amity, the shark has been captured. So you have nothing to fear, I think. Oh, there's definitely another shark in the water. I think for safety, we're gonna move forward just a little bit and we're gonna hide right here behind this beautiful abandoned sign of danger signs and gasoline tanks. Steven Spielberg himself named our mechanical shark here. His name is Bruce. Bruce is the only shark in the world that can swim on top of the water in reverse, as you may catch him doing right now. This attraction has been here since 1976, just 1 year after the movie premiered. But now we're going to one that's even older, and to introduce the next attraction, here is the Today Show co-host and weather anchor, Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968.
We've just arrived to an area called Old Mexico, and with some thunder and lightning, we're going to show you how we make rain for film and TV. We're going to park right here, and I want you to take a look on the left-hand side, because it's about to start raining in 3, 2, 1. Rain! That effect is created using highly complex technological systems called sprinklers. They're located on top of the trams and on top of the trees. They shoot water up. Gravity helps it fall down to the ground almost naturally. And that's exactly how we make rain for film and TV. Very simple. We can place the sprinklers strategically so that the camera, the crew, and the director stay dry while all the actors are getting soaked in the rain. And we can make this happen anywhere in the studio, even inside of the sound stages, wherever we need rain. But here in Old Mexico, it's been raining pretty non-stop since 1968. So this area is prone to giant flash floods like that one headed our way right now. Keep your cameras dry! That effect is created using thousands of gallons of recycled water. You can see it in the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti right here on your screens. This movie filmed all over the studio as well, and they recently put it back on Netflix so you can check out all the shenanigans they made for this. You may also recognize Old Mexico from movies like Nacho Libre with Jack Black, Three Amigos, Maxine with Mia Goth. They turned that area on the left into a little cemetery for that A24 movie. This was also the town of Pariah in season 1 of Westworld on HBO, and it was used in Star Trek Picard and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. Away from Old Mexico into the Wild West, the next area is called Six Points, and it's been here since the silent film era. These are some of the oldest sets still standing in all of Hollywood. Many great cowboys have worked here, like John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford, and all the cowboys on your screens. But even though these are some of the oldest sets in the studio, we still use them all the time. You might recognize this area from the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Barbie herself, Margot Robbie. For that movie, these sets were turned into the sets of the TV show Lancer, where Brad Pitt's character worked. You can also see these sets in the movie Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford. In the Disney movie Saving Mr. Banks, this was turned into a little Australian town. These sets were also used in the TV show Killing It with Craig Robinson, Angeline with Emmy Rossum, the new version of Quantum Leap with Ernie Hudson as well. Now we're going to take a big U-turn that's going to make us drive by Amity Island again. This time I want to leave you with the director of the movie, Steven Spielberg.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
Amity Island was also used as Cabot Cove during the filming of the TV show Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher. Now, this area we're about to drive through, these are some of our residential sets. This area looks like generic suburban neighborhoods. And today we have a few disaster preparedness drills and some emergency companies are doing some training drills in this area. So you might see some interesting production throughout. Now, these houses on the left were used for movies like Hancock with Will Smith and the Academy Award-winning To Kill a Mockingbird. The house on the right is known as the Chicken Ranch. It's another one of our practical sets. You can see it a little bit here on your screens. And on the left-hand side, you'll see where it says emergency exercise in progress. That's one of the busiest streets in the entire studio, simply because it looks like this on your screens. Looks like any generic suburban neighborhood in there. Aside from the emergency preparedness drills, this is also where Ted lives in the TV show Ted, so they've been filming that show here for the past few weeks. It's also where most of the characters lived in Never Have I Ever on Netflix. It was Wisteria Lane on ABC's Desperate Housewives. It was Candy Cane Lane on the crime movie Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy. And pretty much anytime we need a neighborhood or some houses, we'll film in there. Now, we are about 15 minutes away from the end of the tour, almost back to the theme park. Final reminder to please remain seated and inside the tram at all times. If you have any emergencies or require assistance, pull on the red cord. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, next up, we're going to see a few of our picture cars. A picture car is what we call any vehicle that appears in a movie or TV show. And the first one you're going to see is actually one of our original trams from 1964 here on the left-hand side. That red and white candy striping design was made by Harper Goff, a well-known Hollywood set designer known for his fantastical work in movies like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for Paramount. Next to the tram, you can see a gyrosphere, Dr. Hammond's Jeep, some vehicles from the Flintstones and Fast and the Furious, including Dominic Toretto's Charger, and near the end here, Bumblebee and Barricade from Transformers. This area looks both a little spookier than usual and a little more festive than usual, and that's because we're in the middle of changing out from our Halloween event, Halloween Horror Nights, into our Grinchmas event. So there's a lot of things happening in this area. This is also where we house some of our more iconic sets. On the right-hand side, the Bates Motel and the Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece, Psycho, which filmed here in 1960. The Psycho House is technically a miniature. It's built at 7/8 of the scale of a real house. That way, the house looks a little further away than it is from the motel through a technique known as forced perspective. Now, we're gonna get really close to the house, and I don't want to scare anybody, but legend has it that Mother still watches over the motel from her bedroom window in the second story of the house. But that's just a legend, right? Now we're all safely here in the airplane crash site set from the movie War of the Worlds, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. I'll wait to start talking about it once we're all in the area, because I think Cars 2 and 3 and 4 can't really see the set yet. Look at this. This features a real plane. That's a 747 jet that was brought here and destroyed for just one scene in this Steven Spielberg movie. The scene when Tom Cruise and his family are attempting to escape their house in the state of New Jersey right after the extraterrestrial invasion begins. Now, production bought that plane that you see all scattered through this area in one piece. They got it from a retired airplane facility in the Mojave Desert here in California. It cost them about $60,000 to buy the plane. And it technically still worked. It was just retired from the airline. They could have flown it anywhere they wanted to, but they wanted to put it here for the movie. And we don't have a landing strip in the studio, so they couldn't just fly it in here. In order to put it there, it cost over $200,000 because they had to cut it in sections, take off the roof, the wings, and the tail so they could take it on trucks and drive it through the state of California. Then the rest of the set is a replica of a real neighborhood in the state of New Jersey where they filmed all the scenes before the plane crashed onto it. Obviously, the owners of the real houses weren't going to let them get destroyed for a movie, so we took the blueprints and recreated the pieces we needed here in the studio. That took about a month and a half to build. And this entire set was only used in about 4 minutes of the movie. This is what the scene looked like.
The airplane that crashed beside the set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood?
because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. That's me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed? Robbie, get in. Get in.
Now, usually when we build a set that's so specific for such a specific scene, we'd get rid of it when we're done filming and leave the area open so another production can come in and build their own sets. The thing is, as much as it costs to build this set, it was going to cost a lot more to get rid of it. Around $1 million to clean up this entire area and get the plane back to the desert. So, Steven Spielberg and the studio came to an agreement. We could keep the set, show it off on all the tours, as long as we didn't use it for 5 years. Now, those 5 years have long since passed. Since then, the same set can be seen in music videos like Fly by Nicki Minaj and Rihanna, Take It Back by Logic. They did an episode of America's Next Top Model here where they had all the models dressed as zombies scattered throughout the airplane. We used this for an episode of Community with Joel McHale, Angie Tribeca with Rashida Jones, Love on Netflix. And just like they're doing in Colonial Street today, we use this to train a few of the emergency departments, local emergency departments. Also search and rescue dogs. That's one of the cutest things that happens here. They'll hire actors to pretend to be victims, and then they let loose a bunch of puppies that are trained to become search and rescue dogs so they can start learning how to do their job. But this set is right off of Steven Spielberg Drive. That's the name of the road we took to get up here. And that's one of the longest uninterrupted roads in the studio, fittingly named that because of our long-term partnership with director Steven Spielberg.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. And when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left. And then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Now, before this was the plane crash set from War of the Worlds, it was an area where we could build sets for brief time. So it was briefly Site B from the Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3. And we also used it as portions of Whoville for the movie Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But then once we built this set, it's never changed to any other set. Now, we're going to take you to one of the sets from Academy Award winner Jordan Peele's latest film, the movie Nope, starring Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Brandon Perea, and Steven Yeun. Welcome to Jupiter's Claim.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupa Park. Over there, look into the wicket. Have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience, built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a hotspot. What's a bad miracle?
get out of here before we're actually attacked by some sort of UFO. I'm gonna alert the authorities about a possible UAP sighting. Just give me 1 second. Sir, we were just at Jupiter's claim. Suspicious clouds zoomed by the area. My system went haywire. Everything stopped working. If there's anyone in your team able to come...
Be more serious than I thought.
Wait, wait, you're cutting out too, sir. Can you hear? Come on.
I'll tell you who I am, boy.
What?
I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight.
Okay.
I'm the reason the boogeyman mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobb, the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on 2 things, sweet cheeks. 1, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And 2, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. He'll stop at nothing. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
Whoa, I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in. Just whenever you feel like.
Mute him.
Okay.
Don't you?
There.
That's better. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then,
Right, you heard the man. We're in the middle of a big security situation here in the studio. We've been sent to hide out in one of our old mechanical workshops, and I think we're waiting for more instructions from the team. Hello, we just got here.
I just got here. Alright, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people. My name is Roman Pierce. Buddy Hobbs access a statue. Show him for a while. Brought you in our secret spot. Happened to be friends over, it's a little messy. It's all good. More than there. Especially you right there. Still there? Tom's urban assortment. Best trouble the U.S. government can buy. That work of art back over there. Made by my man Ted. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa over here.
Turn off the flashes on our cameras and the ringtones on our cell phones, and it turns out our hideout is the venue for a giant party, so just blend in until we get more instructions.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other? Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Damn, that's right, party's over. You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not. You're under arrest right now. Ladies, let's back up a little bit. Got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for? We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety. Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun. Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm just having another time.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Buddy, Roman, we're up.
Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
We were definitely traced to
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
We are going to go hide somewhere else. Over here, remain seated, remain calm. I'm going to turn off the mic. I don't want it to hear us in here.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Hook him up.
I got the bull by the horn!
Now we're moving.
Witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away! Come into controls!
Way to go, Letty.
Drone lining up the missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this.
Woman, don't shoot! That's from the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on!
Hit the nitrous. Time to die.
There's the Furious Supercharged.
My Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys figured it out. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
All right, now this means we are officially nearing the end of the tour for today. So one final time, here is Jimmy Fallon.
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you had a great time today, and on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you for helping us celebrate 60 years of the studio tour. This anniversary is very special to us because the studio tour is where it all began for Universal Destinations and Experiences. We started with just 2 trams driving around the lot in the summer of 1964, but we've expanded into so much more, including 7 parks entertaining millions of guests every year. And next year, we're opening our 8th park, Universal's Epic Universe, opening in Orlando, Florida, 2025. We're now on our way back to Tram Plaza, where our journey began. When we get there, the studio tour ambassadors will be opening all the gates on the left. Watch your arms and legs as the gates come up. Watch your step as you exit the tram, and you'll be able to drop your 3D glasses in the silver and blue bins you're going to see on the left-hand side. If you want to buy any of the NBC Universal titles we spoke about, check out the retail stores in the theme park or the website uphe.com. And don't forget to download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app. Now, we are back to Tram Plaza. If you have any questions about the studio, the tours, sets, productions, movie making in general, or the theme park, I'll be on the left-hand side by the studio directory. So don't hesitate to drop by and ask any questions, or just drop by to say hi. One final time, my name is Rayan. Our driver is Jose.